Welcome. Today we are taking up mathematics of Ganita Sutras and Vedic systems to understand the compatibility of the values, features and formats of Vedic mathematics and Vedic knowledge organization. Mathematics of Ganita Sutras is Vedic mathematics and Vedic systems are the values, features and formats organization of the Vedic knowledge. Vedic knowledge organization and mathematics of Ganita Sutra run parallel to each other. We are posing to ourselves a question as to whether or not the mathematics of Ganita Sutras is parallel to the values, features and formats of Vedic systems. By mathematics of Ganita Sutras, we mean Vedic mathematics, and by Vedic systems, we mean the organization format of Vedic knowledge. Therefore, the Vedic mathematics and Vedic knowledge are the two source reservoirs, and the format of values and features of both sources, Vedic mathematics and Vedic knowledge, are the subject matter of comparison here. There is a claim that Ganita Sutras are Vedic sutras. It also is a claim that this mathematics of Ganita Sutras is Vedic mathematics. Amongst some, there is a lingering doubt as this text of Ganita Sutras is being not part of any of the available Vedic Samhita. Therefore, these sutras cannot be designated, cannot be given the status of Vedic Ganita Sutras. On the other hand, the Vedic scholars claim is that firstly, the entire Vedic range of Vedic Samhitas have not reached us. Secondly, the grammarized organization of Vedic knowledge as Samhitas is not the only preservation for the complete exhaustive representation of the reservoir of the Vedic knowledge. Originally, there was a single Ved. It is in Dwapar Yuga that Maharishi Ved Vyas organized Vedic knowledge as 4 Vedas. Each Veda is having a Samhita, Brahmana, Aranak and Upanishad, and there are as many as 1131 branches. 21 branches are of Rigved, 101 branches are of Yajurved, 1000 branches are of Samved, and 9 branches are of Atharved, making it in all 1131 branches. Each Vedic branch has a distinct Samhita, Brahmana, Aranak and Upanishad. This as such makes 4524 scriptures. Only a dozen or 2 dozen of them have reached us. The range of the Vedic knowledge as stands organized by Maharishi Ved Vyas is of the order of 4524 Samhitas, out of which say only 24 have reached us and 4500 have not reached us. Therefore, the anxiety to search the text of the Ganita Sutras and Upsutras from the available 24 Samhitas as such is not to provide us a complete answer. Swami Bharati Krishna Tirtha Ji Maharaj, Shankaracharya, was confronted with the situation that some of the Western scholars were of the view that though there is a mention as a Vedic Sutras, however, this text as it is of 16 Ganita Sutras and 13 Ganita Sutras cannot have any valuable mathematics. Shankaracharya was of the view that once this piece of literature is given the designation of a Vedic Ganita Sutras, then there must be a mathematics in it, whatever may be the values of that mathematics, but it cannot be said that this text is not a mathematical text. Shankaracharya had approached these sutras the Vedic way, and by having a prolonged meditation over 8 to 9 years, he was successful to reach at the structural keys, and the success as is imprinted in the form of the Vedic mathematics book of Shankaracharya well demonstrates that this is a mathematical scripture, it is a mathematical text, and these sutras have mathematics, and these relate to mathematics. What is the mathematical domain of it? How far is going to be the reach of this range is a different aspect. The claim of Swamiji is that it covers the entire mathematical domain. The scholars are of the view that how it can be said that all what a human brain can dig out, work out, invent, and compile a mathematics can already be there. Anyway, it is a different philosophical question. Let us now try to pose and confront ourselves with the questions whether the mathematics of these Ganita Sutras is compatible with, whether it runs parallel to the Vedic systems. Therefore, the first question which will arise before we enter upon this exercise is that what are the parameters of the Vedic systems? The first parameter is that soul syllable Om is the source of the organization of the Vedic knowledge. Therefore, these sutras as these are, whether these give us values and features which will go parallel to the flow through the soul syllable Om or not. Srimad Bhagavad Gita is at 1723 is having a formulation Om Tat Sat Iki Nirdesha. As 7.8 it is Paranava Sarvadeshu. As 8.13 Om Iti Akshar Brahm, and as 9.17 Vedyam Pavitram Omkar. Om, Paranava, Om and Omkar are the quadruple synonyms of Om which have been formulated for their values and features, and these values and features as these are together as an integrated setup will provide us some values and features, and we will see whether these values and features of these quadruple formulations as these are taking us anyway near the values and features of the text of the Ganita Sutras and Upsutras or not. The second feature of the Vedic systems is the organization of a knowledge along Sthapatya miring rod. Sthapatya miring rod is a synthetic setup of hypercubes 1 to 6 the representative regular bodies of 1 space to 6 space. Now, this organization of fourfold manifestation layers as hypercubes 1 to 6, as these are together, lead us to certain values and features, and then we have to assess, evaluate by comparison of the same with the values and features of the text of the Ganita Sutras, the mathematics of Ganita Sutras, the organization, features, values and format of the Ganita Sutras. Even prior to this pair of tests, we have to reach at a Devanagari Varnamala format as the Vedic knowledge, organized Vedic knowledge, grammarized Vedic Samhitas are availing Devanagari Varnamala. Devanagari Varnamala as such is going to be the start with point for the chase of the Vedic systems as well as of the mathematics of the Ganita Sutras and Upsutras, as the text of Ganita Sutras and Upsutras as well is availing the Devanagari Varnamala itself. Now, the fourth test is going to be that these 42 letters of Devanagari Varnamala, namely 9 vowels, 25 Varga consonants, quadruple Anthastha letters and quadruple Ushmana letters, making a set of 42 letters, stand organized and are coordinated as 14 Maheshwara Sutras. Therefore, the fourth test, fourth aspect, the fourth way of having a comparison for the mathematics of Ganita Sutras with the Vedic systems is going to be that we shall have the comparison of the organization format features of Ganita Sutras with the organization format features of the Maheshwara Sutras. Maheshwara Sutras are 14 in number, and these 14 sutras are organizing, coordinating these 42 letters of Devanagari Varnamala. Therefore, this organization, this tabulation, as it is as the fourth aspect of the organization, format, feature, values of Vedic systems will be available to us to have a comparison of the same with the values, features and formats of mathematics of Ganita Sutras. The fifth test, which is to be availed and to be worked out and to be chased, is of a Gayatri Mantra. Gayatri Mantra is the source mantra. This mantra is the basis, core of the Vedic systems. Vedic knowledge is accepting Gayatri Mantra as the source, core mantra. This text of a Gayatri Mantra as it is of 13 words, Shabd, including the start with Om. Now, this chain of words together as a composition text of a Gayatri Mantra is having features, values and a format, and these features, values and format of the Gayatri Mantra text are to be compared with the values, features and formats of the Ganita Sutras. The sixth test, sixth aspect of comparison for the Vedic systems with the mathematics of Ganita Sutras is going to be in terms of Saraswati mantras. There are 10 Saraswati mantras, and these 10 Saraswati mantras, as these are in the text as it is leading us to certain values, features and the combined format of the organization of these mantras, and in terms thereof we have to have the comparison of the mathematics of the values, features and mathematics of Ganita Sutras of this text of 16 sutras and 13 of sutras. The seventh test is going to be the astronomical test for the format, which avails 8 directional frame, and this 8 directional frame would mean a Purv, East, Paschim, West, Uttar, North, Dakshin, South, then Northeast and the Southeast and the West and the North, South. These 8 directionals, 4 directions and 4 subdirections together, as these formulations, Purv, Paschim, are leading us to some values, features, which together as a format are to be compared with the values, features and format of the text of Ganita Sutras and Ganita Sutras. This 8 directional frame as it is, when is taken further in respect of the organization at the center of this directional frame as origin of this frame, then we will be having additional values and features, and these additional values and features will further provide us a test for having verification of the compatibility of the mathematics of Ganita Sutras and Upsutras with the values, features of the Vedic systems. After these 7 tests, we can have the internal organization, values, features of the text of Ganita Sutras and Upsutras, and the first of the internal test is going to be that let us go through, let us compile, let us tabulate the first letters of the 16 Ganita Sutras. These chain of 16 letters as first letters of Ganita Sutra 1 to 16 will provide us values and features which together will coordinate as the format, and this format of the values and features of the first letters of the 16 Ganita Sutras be taken as the first internal test, first internal view of the organization format feature of the Ganita Sutras and Upsutras for having comparison of its mathematics with the Vedic systems. This test may be taken as the first internal test. Like the first letters, the second internal test is going to be in terms of the last letters of these sutras. Therefore, the last letters of these 16 Ganita Sutras as a table will provide us, will compile for us, will take us to the values, features and formats of the chain of these 16 letters as the end letters of the text of Ganita Sutra 1 to Ganita Sutra 16. Therefore, the values of features of these 16 end letters of Ganita Sutras 1 to Ganita Sutra 16 together will provide us a format. In terms of this format, firstly we will have the insight about the internal organization format of the text of Ganita Sutras and Upsutras, and then in terms of this internal organization format we will be having a reach to the Vedic systems, and that way we will be having this second test for the internal organization format features of the text of Ganita Sutras. The third internal test of the text of Ganita Sutras and Upsutras is going to be in terms of a table of a first letter of the first sutra, first pair of letters of the second sutra, the first triple letters of the third sutra, and like that all the 16 letters of the 16th sutra. These chain of 16 steps of the first letter, first pair of letters, first triple letters, and all the 16 letters of Ganita Sutra 1 to Ganita Sutra 16 together will tabulate for us the values and features and these values and features together will coordinate and manifest for us a format. And in terms of this format, again, we will be in a position to have a comprehensive view of the organization format of the text of Ganita Sutras and Upsutras, and in terms of the emerging comprehensive view of the format of the values and feature of Ganita Sutras, we can reach for comparison with the values features format of the Vedic systems. This threefold internal organization tests and these 7 external format features and values together will further enhance our insight intensity, and in terms thereof we may be in a position to have a comprehensive view whether or not the mathematics of Ganita Sutras and Upsutras is parallel to the organization format of Vedic knowledge leading to the Vedic systems. The next way to reach at, the third way to reach at the comparison for the mathematics of Ganita Sutras with the Vedic systems is in terms of a sargas, means the localized creations. Yatha pinde tatha brahmande, as is in the universe, so is in the body, or other way around, as is in the body, so is in the universe. How the part can be structurally parallel to the whole, Vyasti Samesti. It is one of the Ganita Sutras, it is one of the values, and this will further take us to the localized creations, sargas, and these are designated as visargas, and these visargas are 22 in number. Therefore, these 22 formulations of the localized creations as these are will help us have a further comparison test for the mathematics of Ganita Sutras with the text of the Vedic knowledge as organized, grammarized knowledge. And these formulations as these are have to be approached in 2 ways. Number 1, firstly we will have and we will reach at the transcendental code values, Divya Ank Vivastha, and then at a next step we will have a trance along the dimensional frames, artifices, or in other words along the swaras. This pair of features will help us have the third test, third approach for having a comparison for the values, features and format of the mathematics of Ganita Sutras with the organization format of Vedic knowledge as grammarized Samhita's knowledge as Vedic systems. Therefore, this third test is going to be of 2 steps. First phase is going to be as of transcendental code values, and second step is going to be as of trance through the dimensional frames, artifices of numbers values, or as through the dimensional frames as the swaras, the vowels. This pair of features together will help us reach at the text comparison for the sutras as well as for the upsutras. The second way to have a comparison for the mathematics of Ganita Sutras with the Vedic systems is going to be in terms of the formulations designated as Panchbhut, Prithvi, Apa, Agni, Vayu, Akash. These 5 formulations as these are will be leading us to TCV values, and also these will be leading us to the trance values, and this TCV values reach is going to be of value as it is, we can count it, it is going to be 68, and then the trans value is going to be S of a 91. Now how and in which way this organization of TCV values and trans values further will permit us as a system for taking it out for the another set of formulations. And here, as comparison to Prithvi, we will have the formulations Sangya, noun, Apa as a Chaya, Agni as a Maya, Vayu as a Shani, and Akash as Ek. Step ahead, Surya and Dhruv will take us to Chit and a Man, or as a Krishna. Therefore, how the system of organization of pair of phases of TCV values and of trans through the vowels of 5-space content Akash Tattva, leading us to a pair of phases, and this pair of phases reach is going to be like a Sthul, mundane body, and Suksham, the subtle body. So the compactification of a mundane with the subtle as such is simultaneously available, is inherently available in the formulations, and then this format can be transplanted, can be carried forward for the another set of formulations. So it is going to be the another test for the comparison of the mathematics of Ganita Sutras and Upsutras with the values, features, and format of the Vedic systems. Let us have a pause and let us revisit. We are confronted with the poser to have a comparison of the mathematics of Ganita Sutras with the Vedic systems to reach at a definite conclusion whether or not Ganita Sutras deserve to be designated as Vedic Sutras or not, though the text as such is not being traced within the existing Vedic Samhitas having reached us. The Vedic systems are to be taken as the values, features, and format of the organization of organized knowledge with the values, features, and format of the Ganita Sutras. For the Vedic systems, we have to have a pair of formats, firstly of synonyms of Om as are availed, preserved in the text of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. We can have a pause here and take note that the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, along with Brahma Sutra and Upanishads, is a Vedanta Tray. Brahma Sutra, Upanishads, and Srimad Bhagavad Gita together make Vedanta Tray, the end threefold values, features, format of the Vedic knowledge. This end essence of the Vedic knowledge, Vedanta, as it is designated, is going to be ultimately providing us a test of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita. And the test in terms of the values, features, and format of Srimad Bhagavad Gita in respect of the soul syllable Om is to be in terms of these quadruple synonyms Om, Paranava, Om, and Omkar. And the second format in terms of which we can have a comparison for the values, features, and format of Ganita Sutras with the values, features, and format of Vedic systems is of a Sthapatya miring rod. There are 4 Vedas, Rig Veda, Yajurveda, Samveda, and Atharveda. These are the pure values Samhitas. Parallel to these pure values Samhitas are the applied values Samhitas, designated as Upavedas. Upavedas being parallel to the Vedas, so the Upavedas are also having the status of Vedas. Therefore, for the quadruple Vedas, Rig Veda, Yajurveda, Samveda and Atharveda, there are quadruple Upavedas of the applied values: Ayurveda, Dhanurveda, Gandharveda and Sthapatya Veda. This Sthapatya Veda is having one of its end-reach scriptures designated as Mansara, the essence of a Mayer. So, essence of a Mayer, Mansara, is the scripture of Sthapatya Upaved of Atharvaved, and Atharvaved is the Veda of values of the Veda Trai, Rig Veda, Yajurveda and Samveda. Therefore, Om is the one format and my Sthapatya Meering Rod is the another format. in terms of these pair of formats, we will be having a comparison of the values, features and formats of mathematics of Ganita Sutras with values, features and format of Vedic systems. Then this comparison of this pair of formats is going to be of twofold features. Firstly, the external features, and secondly, the internal features. The external features are going to be of 7 formats, and this is going to be starting with the Devanagari Varnamala, and this Devanagari Varnamala presumes Sthapatya Meering Rod and of Om formulation. Therefore, in sequence thereof, it becomes the third external test. And we know that within a cube, because of the triple axis, we can have a simultaneous threefold manifestation along the first axis as an interval, along the pair of axes as a square, and along all the 3 axes as a cube. Therefore, line, surface and volume, interval, square and a cube, hypercube 1, hypercube and hypercube 3, manifesting within 3 space is the feature which will help us appreciate that Devanagari Varnamala as such, though is first but becomes the third, and it is this third external format. One may have a pause here and take note that ultimately we will be knowing that TCV value of the formulation 8 as 8 is equal to TCV value for the formulation 3 as well as 8. We'll coming to these features when we will be having the actual comparison for having an insight, enlightenment, and for a reach at the conclusions. The second external test is going to be of the Maheshwara Sutras, and the Maheshwara Sutras organization for the 42 letters of Devanagari Varnamala as such may make Maheshwara Sutras as the starting point and reach at Devanagari Varnamala, and likewise starting with Devanagari Varnamala and reaching at Maheshwara Sutras. Therefore, beginning and end is going to be at the each meant. It is this feature which will amounts to transcending from the linear organization to a circular organization. It is shift from linear order to a spatial order, which would mean it is going to be shift from a solid domain 3 space to spatial order 4 space. It is this reach from 3 space Vishwa to 4 space the creators in space, which is going to be the processing step of the applications of the external tests. And the next we know is of a Gayatri mantra, Saraswati mantras, and these mantras will be availing the astronomical format of the 8 directional frame and together with the origin center of this directional frame. After this availability, utilization of the external tests, we will go for the internal tests. These internal tests of the text are going to be in terms of the first letters of the sutras, second is going to be in terms of the last letters of the sutras, and third is going to be in terms of the first letter of first sutra, pair of letters of second sutra, triple letters of third sutra, and 16 letters of the 16th sutra. These 3 internal tests, these 7 external tests, this pair of formats availability as such are going to be utilized by us to provide an answer to the poser whether or not the mathematics of Ganita Sutras is compatible with the values, features and format of Vedic systems, and whether or not as such the Ganita Sutras deserve to be designated, to be accepted, to be worked out and to be availed as the Vedic Sutras. Once we are at these features and values, then we will be having the ultimate test of the localized creations with the universal creations. These are going to be in terms of visargas. The visargas are 22 in number. These in terms of TCV values and in terms of trans are leading us to pair of domains, and this pair of domains will ultimately help us appreciate the organization format of the Ganita Sutras and Ganita Upsutras. After this, the next test is going to be in terms of Panchmabhut, the 5 basic formulations as a format for reach at Surya and a step ahead to a Dhruv, the pole star. It is this way, once we will be at these formations of TC values and trans, then this format is to be transplanted as a working rule. It is this transplantation which is going to be the final test, and here in this case one of the transplantation for this range of 5 formulations is going to be the formulation Sangya, Chaya, Maya, Shani and Ek. One may have a pause here and take note that Surya is having 2 wives. One is Sangya and another is Chaya. Sangya and Chaya are having Vishwakarma, and Chaya is having Shani. And Chaya is a mother of Shani, Sangya is mother of Vishkarma, Surya is the father. Therefore, nouns and images. So, Chaya and Sangya are the pair of formulations. It is going to be a light and darkness. It is going to be manifested and unmanifest forms. For it, from the next session, we shall be taking up precisely a cube as a 3-space body and also as a domain, a third domain, a dimension, boundary and domain, a third fold. How this third fold is being availed for transcendence at its origin center, a seat of the creators of space, by having an explosion which fought because of a transcendental base, and there is going to be the existence phenomenon of our solar universe in a unified form of existence within rays of the sun, existence within human frame, and as a unified format as existence of our solar universe, a ultimate test, ultimate bliss, ultimate and reach, in terms of which we will have a unification format, features and values of mathematics of Ganita Sutras with the organized, grammarized Vedic knowledge leading us to the Vedic systems. Let us revisit these features. Let us confront this poser. Let us pose to ourselves as to how we are going to approach this question and when we will be proceeding towards the conclusive evaluation. Then again we will have a pause to revisit, to check it out whether we are on the right direction or not. For it as well, we have to go to the shelter of the Vedic systems, which provide us that buddhi itself is of TC value 25. Prithvi is also TC value 25. Vishnu is of TC value 25. Vashutkar is of TC value 25. And Sangya is also of TC value 25. How is it that 5 square as such providing us 5 cross 5 grid, and how this grid 5 cross 5 grid is going to help us to have a reach from value 24, 4 cross 4, 6 to 25, and step ahead to value 26. This sequential reach up till 27, then as a Brahm 28, and Brahma is 29, and Samhita is 30, and 31 is going to be Samarthan, Dridbal. All this is going to be a sequential reach of the Vedic systems, and same is going to be the Vedic mathematics. Thank you very much.